This podcast is brought to you by Reimagine Radio, the online radio station that aims to give you information on disability and music. Hello, my name's Graham Wyman, and I'm a program manager with the Disability Foundation. For our first artist feature on Reimagine Radio for 2022, I am joined by Bryden Vino, program coordinator, and rap meister Greg 77 Spokes Labine.
Hey.
Hello, everyone.
Happy New Year, you.
Happy New Year. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year, guys.
Wow, it's good to see you both. So first and foremost, Greg, for our listeners who haven't heard, but congratulations on being a dad.
Yeah, thank you.
Woo!
Thank you so much. It's amazing. Beautiful experience. Yeah.
I'm sure, hey, all the best in 2022, obviously, and it's just an exciting time for you.
It is exciting and at the same time exhausting, but it's magical, really. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Some new material to write about too.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Limitless source now.
My joke that I held out for the podcast would be your child would have the best MC ever.
Yeah. That's true. And a friend of mine, actually, a producer I work with in Ontario, he was like, how is your newborn son? Does he have a mic yet?
Yeah.
And I said, not yet, but he already likes music. Like when we play music or sing for him, he opens up his eyes and you can tell he's listening. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Already on the right track.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Greg, we had you on last year, but since we last talked, why don't you tell our listeners about some of the new releases that you've had? Yeah,
there's been some releases actually. I had an album called Light on a Hill that I put out in September of last year, and that had some songs from my, like I said, my friend in Ontario, but it also had a couple tunes that were produced by Dave Symington. And one of them featured So Blessed, who is a female singer MC from Zimbabwe. And the other one was just a really feel-good track. So those are called Rise Up and Clearing Out My Mind. And they both had music videos that I put out last year. Okay. And then also on that album was Bryden. Bryden here had produced one of the songs called The Waiting. So that turned out really awesome too. So those were just some of the songs, but that was probably the highlight of the year. Light on a Hill, which is available on all streaming platforms. But also to add to that, just more recently in December, I put out a song called Brother You're Right. And that was produced by a guy in UK he goes by the name AB Music House. And it featured, or not featured, but it was really a collaboration with Jay Radix from Zimbabwe as well.
Well, you touched on something that I did want to speak about later, but you introduced it. Bryden, would you mind talking about the track that you produced for Greg and just the whole dynamic when you sent it to him?
Yeah, it's funny, like the trajectory of songs, like sometimes they can be made in one day in the studio, and then other days it's like I'm sitting at home and I'll make a beat and then I won't listen to it for 4 months, and then comes along Greg and I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be perfect for him. So then sent it right to him, and it seemed like it was, what was it, like the following week you already had the thing recorded, and it was like so quick. Which is one of the awesome things about you, Greg, is like the ethic and the workflow. It's just like instant. Usually people take, I like to take my time with things, but you just go right into it. It's really awesome. I really appreciate how you do that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I loved working with you. I was so excited about that beat that you made, and I just hopped right on it, and I just happened to be recording. I had a session already booked, so the timing worked out, and hopefully I'll be able to continue working, but might take a little more time now, of course, with the newborn. But yeah, it's awesome.
What was like, I don't know if you'll be able to remember it all, but when you first listened to it, or even like when you're first listening to beats, what's like the first thing you do? How do you start constructing rhymes and stuff? Do you go for like, because I know a lot of rappers will do like gibberish flows and then replace that gibberish with real words, but then
Yeah,
others will
yeah.
kind of go line by line or rhyme to rhyme and connect the missing pieces. What's your kind of flow there?
I've done both. I've
Okay.
done I've I've done a bit of both. I've done the gibberish freestyle and then turned it into words. Even one of our newer songs, I did that on one of the songs I think you're going to be mixing soon that I sent to you. But yeah, so sometimes I do the gibberish freestyle, and then most of the time I don't do that though. Most of the time, when I hear a beat, if I feel it, like I get a
Mhm.
vibe, I get a good feeling, then I'll just sit on it for a couple weeks. I'll wait and see what comes to mind. It does take time. It doesn't usually hit me the first time I hear it. It
Mhm.
takes like a couple weeks of letting it sink in until a topic comes to me. And then when I find that right topic, I'll just start writing rhymes. And sometimes it just pours out. Sometimes you have to go over and over again. But yeah, it varies.
You find yourself like rewriting stuff a lot?
Yeah, sometimes I do rewrite over and over. And the thing is, I bounce it off my wife because she was in a band before in college, and
Oh,
she's a
no way.
singer. She has an amazing voice, actually. Yeah, she we had a song years back. It's on Spotify. But anyway, she tells me like this is good or this is not good or whatever. She's brutally honest, which is awesome to have a sounding board when you're an artist. You need to have that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And if it's going to be someone for you to trust, it would be her, right?
Now,
Totally.
and just out of curiosity, Greg, what was the track?
Oh, the track with Lucy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called "Open Your Eyes," and it's off of my album. It's actually funny because most of my albums I have under 77 spokes, but before I was called Greg Spokes Labine.
Oh, well,
So
I know.
I have that as one of my artist profiles on Spotify as well. So if you search that one, there's one album called Love is Motivation from 2016, and it's on that album.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's moving along here. By the time we're gonna be releasing this podcast, which will be the first podcast of our artist feature, our first Strong X concert will have come out featuring you. Um,
Awesome.
I was just wondering, this has been a little bit of a different dynamic for you, considering you normally play backing tracks. What was it like recording with a live band?
With the live band, yeah, it's totally different. It's so awesome, and I've done it before. I think back in 2014, but since then I haven't done really a live show, and it was with you guys back then. I believe it with VAMS. But anyway, for this one, it's just really about going with the flow. So you can practice all you want, but when it comes to a live band, for me, when I was practicing with the backing tracks, I know it will never sound exactly like the backing tracks
Of course.
because it's a different dynamic. There's multiple of us there. There's people that you're feeding off energy, and like the instruments don't quite sound the same. That's not to say they're worse or better. Well, they are better actually, I would say. But yeah, it's different. You have to go with the flow.
Yeah. Well, and Greg, it's funny you mentioned that because before we recorded this, I actually went back and listened to certain sections of the concert,
Yeah.
and I'm just laughing like to see. Well, obviously, one constant, Dave was still there.
Yeah.
And then it was me on guitar,
Always. Yeah.
which now Brian's doing, and the
Mhm.
bass. And it was so funny too. I think it was recorded on a camcorder at the Slocan Hall, but that was just
Okay.
so funny to see. Like, you know, hey, 7 years go by. It was,
Yeah. Come a long way.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So, you last played with us in 2014, but were you nervous at all with getting into a live group again?
With you, I was probably more nervous back then. This time around, I wasn't really as nervous, I would say, because I've spent more time with you guys and I know you guys more and more over the years. So I feel comfortable with everybody that's in the band, you and Dave and Bryden and everything. And I knew that there's no audience in this particular setting at that point in time.
Fair enough.
So it was pretty casual, just some friends getting together, doing some cool songs. It felt natural. Yeah.
Yeah, it did have that like kind of jam vibe to it. And like I know what you meant by that, and that trust. Like I there was some kind of feelings of, okay, did we rehearse enough? Did we like, or didn't we? But at the end of the night, like before the night before that we recorded this show, I just thought, like we all know what we're doing, right? Like there was no, it's fun when we get into a live situation and then we can just trust each other. And I'm not going to be, there's certain artists that, you have to like really kind of watch and kind of tailor the set towards. But this one just felt like, okay, well, Greg's on the mic, I'm on guitar, Graham's on bass, Dave's on drums. Everyone knows what they're doing. We can all work with each other, and it was just easy. So I'm excited for the next one. Yeah.
And Brian, you were the one, I think we sat in my car after the rehearsal, and I was like,
yeah,
how's this gonna go tomorrow? Because I think we'd also done another virtual concert beforehand. And I was just like, you actually were the calming force.
Oh yeah. I was like, it's just gonna happen and it's gonna good.
This is gonna be so easy.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going. Like,
I did keep saying that.
Cool. Yeah, like so that
good.
Well, I just knew Greg was gonna bring it, like he always does.
Obviously.
Yeah. It was awesome. Love that energy.
I'm gonna switch gears here a bit, kind of go back to the like music releasing and stuff. Greg, what are you looking at for the new year? Do you have any I mean, I know I have some songs that I'm working on the mixes for, but kind of what's in the bag right now? Is that it? And if so, are you ready to talk about those?
Yeah, that's those ones are probably on the forefront right now. When those mixes come, those will be some looking to release those few songs with you, definitely. And then we can talk about them, sure. And then also there's another song I'm doing with the fellow in UK, AB Music House, and Jay Radix in Zimbabwe. So we're doing another collaboration, just probably releasing that soon in the new year here. And other than that, I'm just looking to make more songs with you. I love working with you, Bryden, and also with that guy, AB Music House. I like his beats too. So that's probably where we'll be looking to for 2022.
So what's your, like, do you have any kind of structure when it comes to releasing music? Do you like, well, I need to drop X amount of singles and then I'll drop an EP or I'll drop an album after I've done this much? Or do you think about that a lot? Or is it just like, just kind of feel it out in the moment?
It's probably feeling it out. I think singles is the way to go for the most part. I used to do more just albums, and then in the last couple of years I've started putting out more singles because not everybody wants to listen to a full album. But if you just release a single, it's more accessible for people. They're ready to hear just 4 minutes or something. So more singles, and then maybe another EP in a year or two, depending how I feel. It might be sooner. And I think the only issue with releasing singles is that you have to come up with cover art, and I never know
Every
what to
time.
do for that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's so
yeah.
true. That's
Well,
interesting though. Yeah, I usually try and like talk it through so much, and to hear you come from the other side is kind of refreshing. But yeah, Graham, what were you gonna say there?
no, I was just gonna ask Greg. Besides Real Wheels' Tune In, this was pretty much the first time that you'd ever played that particular piece live, correct?
Yeah, it
And,
is.
and what was that like?
It was pretty good to put that out and do it with the live band. I wanted to try it with the live band, and that's why I brought out the songs that I did for the show, for the
Mhm.
performance.
Yeah.
That's the reason I chose those songs. A lot of them new songs that haven't been performed before were because I mean some of them had been done before, but some not. But was because I wanted to get the best vibe out of the live band and make something that will be remembered and be put out there to hear for years to come. I can go back and hopefully people can check it out.
Yeah, no, of course, dude. Well, Greg and Brian, just wanted to thank you both for being here and joining us on the artist feature today.
Thank you.
And one last final thing to all of our listeners out there, have a happy 2022. Stay safe, and as always, keep that music flowing.